welcome to this PSIA, Private Schools Interscholastic Association Fall Workshop video for 2022. My name is Doug Ray. I'm the Executive Director of PSIA, and I thank you for taking time to watch this video to learn about all the changes we've made to the program over the last year. In this video, we'll talk about the new website that I've designed. We'll review PSIA organization of events and the conflict pattern, and discuss contest rule changes, curriculum add-ons, and much more. Again, my name is Doug, and feel free to reach out to me via email at doug@academicmeet.com or call or text my cell phone 512-797-2158. Also, this summer I moved and PSIA has a new mailing address. Please send all correspondence and checks to P.O. Box 1225, Lampasas, Texas 76550. Let's begin with our new website. I spent most of the summer moving and designing the new website. On the new website, you'll be able to see some new features, including online registration. When you register for PSIA online, you will get a status. Status accepted means you've been fully accepted into the program. If your status is pending, then that means that you've completed your part of the registration and I need to complete mine. If it's incomplete, then that means you're missing one of these 4 parts for the registration: enrollment, the agreement, participation, or the selected district. If you have 4 green boxes, everything is good to go. In addition, this is the page where you'll be able to change your enrollment numbers if they change during the year, or change your participation if you choose to add or delete one of the events that you've registered to compete in the spring. We also have the digital handbooks for you to download. The academic handbook is there on the left, and if you've selected to participate in our one-act play contest, the digital handbook for one-act play is available on the right. These downloads are as PDFs. New this year, every activity that requires a fee will be invoiced by PSIA. Here at the bottom of this page is where you can find all of your invoices, and you now have the option of paying online with a credit card. There is a 2% convenience fee for credit card payments, and we use PayPal merely as our credit card processor. You do not need a PayPal account to use this feature. Up at the top is our menu bar. Here you'll find some new functionalities for the Members Plus website, including the ability to update school information. I'm still working on implementing this feature, so expect to see it within the next month or so. You'll be able to order online through your Members Plus account. That is also coming soon. Here we have contest information. This will be where contest information that has to be secured behind a login will be available. Information that can be shared with the general public will be on the main homepage under Resources. And finally, we have materials. This is where the materials that you purchase starting this year will appear in your Members Plus account. All these materials will be attached to your school, and so if in the future we have a change of campus coordinators, all that material will still be available to your new campus coordinator under Materials. Let's take a look at an example. Here's an example of a fake invoice that I created showing the Ready Writing and Creative Writing Handbook. By clicking on that handbook icon, you'll be able to download the handbook as a PDF. Also, we have some new products this year. The first one is a combination of the elementary academic study materials and the middle school academic study materials. I've combined them into one big booklet called the Full Academic Study Materials. You can download this for the district test or the state test by year. You also save when you buy it as a full booklet instead of buying them individually. Additionally, the listening skills packet now comes with both the audio and the test themselves. So you can download the test and the audio MP3s from the district and the state test. The full academic study booklets will also have the audio from listening skills attached to it. Finally, I've changed the way that we package the previous year's test for individual contests. In the past, you would buy 2 years of test at a time. Now, they're split up over single years. So if you're missing a certain year, you can go back and buy that single year's contest test. Let's take a look at the events for this year. Notice that on this chart, the individual check marks indicate where there is a contest for a certain category. For example, art memory at the top. There's a single check mark spanning both grades 4 and 5. This means that art memory 4 and 5 is a combined event. Similarly, art memory 6, 7, and 8 is a combined event. Contrast that with mathematics. There's a single check mark in each of the grades from grades 2 through 8. This represents an individual contest by grade level. The color of the boxes represent the different tests that will be taken. So for example, again, in mathematics, grades 2 and 3 use the same test because they're both that same pink shade. But grades 4 and 5 use a different test since they're shaded gold. And finally, grades 6, 7, and 8 use a third different test in mathematics since they're the blue shade. Also, we've added a contest this year. It's Number Sense grades 2 and 3. This is a regular contest now, meaning that it will run just like a regular contest. It is split up over grades 2 and 3. And provided that the minimum number of contestants from each district compete in Number Sense 2 and 3, 2 contestants will advance to state from each of those grades. Also, we are piloting Science 4 and 5. Pilot means that there will not be a state contest for this contest, but it will be piloted in several districts. You need to contact your district director to find out if your district will be piloting this new contest. No students will advance to state, and it will be split up over grades 4 and 5, even though the line that divides 4 and 5 is not clear on this chart. It will be 2 separate grades, grade 4 and grade 5. Let's take a look at the conflict pattern. The conflict pattern determines what contest a contestant may compete in. If 2 contests occur at the same time, contestants may not compete in both of those contests, with the exception of dual entry. Dual entry is when a student enters a speech contest and a non-speech contest at the same time. That is permitted, and you can see the chart at the top of the page that indicates which speech events and which non-speech events can be dual entered. Some things in a contest make a dual entry impossible, so please consult the chart. Well, let's take a look at some of the changes to the conflict pattern. Notice that number sense has been moved to 8 o'clock sharp, and poetry or prose interpretation has been moved to 8:30. This was done for several reasons. Number one, we wanted to avoid the conflict with creative writing 2 with our new number sense 2 grade level contest. Additionally, we found it difficult to make sure that judges get to our meets early in the morning at 8 o'clock, and we scramble to find replacement judges at a very early hour. This will give us time to make sure all of our judges are present for the earliest 8:30 contest. Some districts are opting to hold a mandatory 8 o'clock meeting for all speech judges, mainly to go over the rules and expectations of judging, as well as to ensure that all the judges are present for our meet. Listening skills and maps, graphs, and charts have traded places. And information skills with vocabulary have also traded places. Please make note of those changes for this year. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary from 2018 is the official dictionary of PSIA. It's the 11th edition, and very few changes have been made to the dictionary in recent years. You can provide tabs on pages for the dictionary, and you can write on those tabs to indicate where certain charts and pictures and other items of interest that normally appear on the dictionary test can be found. The official atlas used for maps, graphs, and charts is the Nystrom Desk Atlas from 2018, or a newer edition. You can tab the atlas, but you're not allowed to write on those tabs or write anywhere in the atlas. The 2022-2023 modern oratory topics are: can artificial intelligence come alive? Will electric cars replace gas-powered cars in the United States? Title IX, 50 years later, have women gained? Should community service be a requirement for high school graduation? And number 5, does the United States have a responsibility to aid in resolving conflicts abroad? Here are some general cautions for our interpretive reading contest. Avoid touching hair, face, and clothing. Touching anything on one's body may be regarded as the use of a prop and could result in the deduction in rank. Avoid over-the-top dramatization, which could make the interpretation seem more like a dramatic monologue. A deduction in rank may result, but subjectivity is not objective. You may and should do gestures as a natural outgrowth of the words being read. The interpretation of natural varies. Do use your notebook and give artful glances to the pages in it. Most of our contestants have already memorized the reading that they are presenting, so artful glances are used to sort of pretend that the reading is being read. And do use voice changes, inflections with voice variations. That brings the presentation alive. Also remember that we have differences between our objective contest and our subjective contest. All of our writing and speech contests are subjective. Percentages on evaluations are guidelines for the amount of weight to give to each aspect of the subjective assessment. They're not to be used as scores, and please do not score each of our speech or writing contestants. Finally, you're not allowed to assign ties in subjective contest. Subjective contests get ranked first, second, third, etc. with no ties. This year is a poetry year. In your handbook, you'll find documenting your selection. The words there used for prose and the words that can be used as identifiers for poetry. Documentation for the contestants' work is an essential part of this contest. This year, many of our districts will be using a new system that I'm developing called digital documentation. The way digital documentation is expected to work is that your campus coordinator will submit the digital documentation for the pieces that your contestants in poetry this year or prose next year will use and present at the district meet. This documentation will occur approximately 6 to 8 weeks ahead of the district meet. A person selected by your district director will evaluate the documentation to either approve it, reject it, or request more information to determine if the piece is actually poetry for this year. This documentation will then be finalized and used for your contest day. Your contest director would not need to evaluate the documentation that the student presents because it will have already been verified. This will apply to prelims and finals and will carry on to the state meet as well. Let's take a look at number sense. Since we've added grades 2 and 3, we had to revise the problem sequence. You can download the problem sequence for number sense off the website. Remember, though, also that problem types can appear later in the test than where they are listed. And when they do, the problems should be expected to be a little bit harder. The special topics for middle school number sense this year are multiplication by 37, sum of reciprocals, partial fraction decomposition, and remainders, but in a different base. See the handout that you can find on the website for more information. Junior high mathematics also has a special topic. It's the same one as last year, and it's graph theory. The handout for this is also available on the website. In addition, we'll also be asking questions about basic statistics, including averages, also called means, medians, modes, including bimodal, and range. We'll also be featuring box and whisker plots on the junior high test, and asking for meaningful interpretation of the statistics presented. Spelling. The 2022-2023 spelling list is available on Members Plus. In addition, PSIA publishes the list with instruction guide and practice tips for students for purchase, $4. You can order that off the website. The grades 2 and 3 test, or word list rather, has 600 words. The grades 4-5 list has 800 words, and the grades 6 through 8 word list contains 900 words. On the spelling test itself, grades 2 and 3 have 50 words, where 13 of those words are from outside of the list. Similarly, grades 4 and 5, the test is 75 words with 19 words from outside. And for the grades 6 through 8 test, 100 words are on the test with 25 of them coming from outside of the list. Since these words are outside of the list and students are not able to practice them in advance, they're worth more on the test. Regular words give you plus 5 points, and outside words give you plus 7 points. Also, watch out for derivatives of words. The grades 2 and 3 tests do not contain any derivatives, but grades 4 and 5 and 6 through 8 do contain derivatives of words that appear on the test. For example, last year, one of the words on the list was federate, but the word that was asked for on the test was federation. You can see examples of these other words that were list words and the derivatives that were asked for on the test last year. We will continue to deliver the words to our districts and state meet via the audio file MP3 so that it can be played in the classroom. The official resource for verifying spelling is Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary, 11th edition from 2018 on. Vocabulary also uses the Collegiate Dictionary, and the 300 selected words for this year can be found in the handbook. They also can be found on the resources on the website for you to download. In addition, I've uploaded all of the words to Quizlet so that you can use this QR code to activate the Quizlet, pass that around to your students so that they can study the vocabulary words. New this year, I've created something called Vocabulary Daily. On Monday through Thursday, 3 selected words from the vocabulary list will appear on the website under resources/vocabulary. And then these are for your students to learn throughout the week. And then on Fridays, a 3-question quiz in the general format of the actual vocabulary test that we use will appear on Fridays. Multiple choices where your students can select them and check their answers. It started on October 3rd and will run until the first district meet in mid-February. You can always go back to see the words that we've already used. There's a calendar so that you can go back to see all of those words, and you can go back and play all the 3-question quizzes from the Fridays before. Dictionary Skills uses the Merriam-Webster Collegiate Dictionary, 11th edition, 2018 and beyond. Here's a teaching tip for your contestants. Be wary of the double search. Here's an example from last year's state test. Ariel is the name of a prankish spirit in a Shakespearean play. What does the name of this play refer to? So students would first need to look up something in the dictionary to have a hint about what to look up next. The first thing they should look up is Ariel. Ariel is a prankish spirit in the Shakespearean play The Tempest. And then we want to know what the tempest refers to. A tempest is a violent storm. And so in the question, violent storm is choice A. That's an example of a double search. Double searches don't appear as often as they used to, but be wary that they might be in the test themselves. Information Skills is a test where students use their internet-connected device to answer questions. There are 24 total questions, and students have 30 minutes. We have a rule change this year. common nouns must not be capitalized. So for example, aspirin, bicycle, toy, these are all common nouns, and they cannot be capitalized as an answer on the information skills test. Proper nouns, however, must be capitalized. So Abraham Lincoln must be capitalized. We have a change in scoring as well. So if the answer is completely correct, the student will be awarded 5 points. If the answer is essentially correct, but there is an error in either capitalization, spelling, or punctuation, then the student will be awarded 3 points. And if the answer is incorrect, then no points will be awarded or deducted. So for example, if we had this question, which Spanish artist was born in 1881 in the same city as actor Antonio Banderas? If the student replies with Pablo Picasso, the student is awarded 5 points. It's the correct answer, it's properly capitalized, and everything is spelled correctly. If the student answers with Picasso, that would be +5 as well. Picasso is a very unique name. Anytime someone mentions Picasso, we know exactly who we're talking about. Contrast that with an answer about a U.S. president who was named Johnson. Well, there have been 2 Johnsons who were U.S. presidents. Andrew Johnson in the 1860s and Lyndon Johnson in the 1960s. Suppose the contestant writes down Pablo Picasso, but forgets to capitalize Pablo and Picasso. The answer is correct, but the capitalization is wrong, and the student will be awarded 3 points. And suppose they put down Salvador Dali. Well, that's the wrong answer, so there's no points there. Another rule change to information skills is that students are allowed to bring a hotspot device with them to the contest. The hotspot device will not be allowed to be on the table or desk with the student, but could be on the floor or on another table in the room as directed by the contest director. Moving on to art memory, we have 30 paintings this year. They're the same paintings as last year. And you can also get the Art Smart Bulletin from UIL. I will be uploading these images to your Members Plus account so that you can download them. Here's some examples. We have Portrait of an Old Woman by Memling. We have A Roamer with Grapes, a Pewter Plate, and a Roll by Van Byron. And we have Old Faithful Geyser, Yellowstone National Park by Brown. We have new selections this year for music memory. The Spotify link there is tinyurl.com/PSIA-MM2023, or you can scan the QR code on the screen now. Thanks for watching the workshop video and helping us to celebrate 26 years of inspiring student achievement through academic competition. Have a great day.